Look at the compass at the top. And there's no bar at the bottom. It says you can... Oh, okay, so you can see your health in the inventory screen. So, like, I can see that this is the town, but I don't know where I'm at. Actually, I know I'm there, but yeah. Wow. Wow. Dude, that is so daunting. Especially not being able to see the marker for perfect counters. That sounds really challenging. I mean, I could see if I was fighting one-on-one, like building a habit, like, you know, he's like this, and then as soon as I see him start to pull his arm back, hit the button, like I could build that habit. But when you're fighting like 4 enemies, it's basically I'm just staring at the little green shield, and when it pops, I counter. When it pops, well, you hit the button, and it's either a parry or it's a riposte. I don't know, depending on the timing. But it's basically like if I'm 1v mini, that's the only thing I'm focused on, and that won't be there. Because that marker will pop even if the guy is to your side and you can't, like, get him in view of your camera. That's pretty crazy. Okay. Alright, yeah, close that. I just wanted to see that. Did that completely close it? That completely closed it. Okay. Ooh. Alright, chat. Review time. Okay, so, first of all, Kingdom Come Deliverance. There is a lot more to this, all right? I played 40 hours. I did many side quests. There's tons more. And I finished the MSQ. I did not finish any of the DLCs. And I think there is, I don't know, there's like 5 or 10 of them. There's a lot of them. I didn't do any of the DLCs other than I participated in the tournament one time. So, playtime, I got 40 hours up to this point. I would say that if you played this game and you were doing all the side stuff, it's probably 100 plus hours for a single playthrough. There was a lot of stuff to do there. Really enjoyable game. Let's go through each of the bullet points. Graphics is beautiful. No complaints on the graphics. It looked great. Audio, it's kind of weird in some moments. Some of the cutscenes, like I mentioned near the end, there was that one cutscene where everyone was talking, but there was fire crackling from the fireplace really loud, like as if the fireplace was right under the microphone. But for the most part, the audio was good. It was good. It was solid. There was one single character that I distinctly remember that it looked like his mouth wasn't synced up with the words that were coming out of it, but everybody else, it was pretty solid. The audio was good. Story was pretty solid. Typically I like to play games with, like, you know, fantasy, like high fantasy with like magic and stuff, or sci-fi. So I wasn't sure how much I would love this, you know, medieval game with no magic or things like that. I mean, a little bit with the potions, but you know, but I ended up really enjoying it. I truly did. So the story was good. The world was really good. In terms of gameplay, there's so many different subtopics to talk about with that. Let's talk about combat first. So combat, the big thing was just like, you just had a weapon. And I will say I disliked the limitations of the weapons. You did occasionally find a two-handed spear or a two-handed glaive or something, halberd, I don't know. But two-handed weapons would drop from bows. But if you picked it up, it was a temporary weapon. You couldn't keep it. It was kind of like when Indiana Jones, we played recently, would pick up something and then just break it over the next guy's head. It was a short, limited-use weapon that you couldn't use for a long time. I found that kind of annoying because it was basically like I was either using a long sword or long sword and shield, or short sword and shield, or hatchet and shield, or mace and shield. And they all swung pretty much the same. They just had slight, like, this one does more stabbing damage, or this one does more slashing damage. You know, basically some of them did more damage like this, and some of them did more damage like this, or this, or this. Still greatly enjoyed it, but I felt extremely limited in terms of weaponry. There was also the bow and arrow, but I never got my bow skill high enough that my arm stopped shaking, so it was extremely hard to use. If I had spent more time, like, training on that, then, you know, it would have been better for sure. So in combat, you had your one weapon, whatever you chose. I mostly did short sword and shield. And you would, when you swing, you would target lock the enemy. And so basically you would lock your camera onto them. And then you would either click above, you would do like a movement with your mouse, like left click, pull down, and it would do like a strike from above, or strike from the side, or strike from the other side, or strike from a below into the left, or below into the right, or a stab. So there were 6 different ways that you could swing your weapon. Then you could mix it up a bit. Like you could click left and then move the mouse to the right and release it really quick, and you would do a feint. And that worked for anything. When I was really struggling with foes blocking every attack I did, I came up with what I called like the casino strike, where I would just like click and then spin the mouse and release it, and neither of us knew where I was going to be swinging from, and that helped a lot. I was able to get through a lot of guys' defenses with that. Or if I had more strength than them, I could just walk into them, and you would do that clenching thing, and then the first person to click after the clinch started would shove the other, and you could get like 1 free hit in after the shove. And I abused that on a few guys that I like. The final guy I fought in the tournament, I used that a lot because I was having a really hard time getting through his defenses, but I always won the clinches if I could click faster than him. So that was another thing. So with all those things combined, the combat was pretty interesting. For one-on-one. For 1v multi, a glaring problem came out with how the game is set up. And that problem is that having camera lock on or off was basically the same. If camera lock was off, it still fixated the camera on the nearest thing. And it would, cause you to just constantly face that thing. So if you had 2 enemies, I couldn't just kind of tilt my camera in between. Like, here's 2 enemies. I couldn't just kind of move my camera to be in between them. It would just simply always have one enemy that you were locked onto, and the other guy's hitting you in the side or the back. And it was a struggle to keep multiple opponents within my field of view so that I could watch for when I need to block and parry both of them. It was really difficult. And it was like, I had to pull the mouse hard enough that it would like whip all the way over here in order to de-lock the camera. But then as soon as the mouse came within like 90 degrees of the target, it would snap back to them again. I could not have the mouse slightly left or right, or the crosshair slightly left or right of them, because it would snap back onto the guy. So you could press the middle mouse button to change camera lock to another guy. You could also press tab to change camera lock to another guy. My point is, I didn't always want to be locked on a guy. If I've got 2 enemies, I kind of want to have my vision between them so that I can see, Or like I might want my target lock on one guy, but I want my camera kind of in between the 2 of them, Like, if I've got a guy in front of me and a guy to my right, I might be kind of looking like in between the 2 of them, even if I'm like pointed this way. So it was also like if you got hit, it would like, it might sometimes send you spinning or like, make your vision blurry. No complaints about that. Totally fine. That goes hand in hand with the realism of the game. I actually thought it was very clever when you would get hit in the head, you could have like blood come down over the camera. I thought that was, a nice touch. I just had issue with the camera lock, like being unable to tear my eyes away from someone. I don't think that was like going for realism. I just think that was a design choice that they made, and I didn't care for it. It was just very difficult to just get my eyes to let go of someone sometimes. You are not Rambo. No. I know that. I'm only talking about the targeting. Okay, the camera lock. I'm just talking about the camera lock. I'm not saying it should be easier for 1v2, 1v3, or anything like that. I'm just saying it shouldn't be so difficult to tear my vision away from someone I'm not trying to look at. That's it. That aside, there were ways of getting around that. Honestly, I think my favorite battle in the game was actually Provislovitz, the bandit camp early on, where you go in and you could like, I didn't have poison at the time, but you could like poison the cooking pot and like burn their arrows and pick off a bunch of people. Like I spent like a stream and a half there just like wrecking the place and then going back and telling Radzik all the stuff I did. And after that, I stockpiled poison for another future opportunity and never got another one. I'm kind of sad that there was not another mission to sneak into the enemy camp and like wreak havoc. It only happened the one time. But it was still really fun. I accidentally drank the poison. That's another very minor thing. Sometimes the controls, like, for example, whistle for your horse is X, Dog murder that guy is hold X for 1 second. It was very scary in town to whistle for my horse because if I clicked it wrong, I would have my dog try to murder a merchant and then I would have problems. Okay? There was a lot of things like that. Like, for example, put potion on your blade was E. Or sorry, put poison on your blade is E. Drink the poison was hold E for 1 second. So I clicked it and I accidentally held it for just a split second too long, and then I accidentally just drank the poison. There was many things where they had multiple things share a hotkey. I wish that they were separated. Always use another button. So E should be to dodge. E should be to dodge. So again, these are minor complaints. I would say if I could magically snap my fingers and change one thing about the game, it would be the camera lock thing. Everything else I could deal with way easier. Okay, so that said, let's talk about gameplay that was non-combat. I immediately think of alchemy. When I went into the alchemy lab and I first saw the wine, the water, the spirits, the oil, the cauldron, the distilling thing, the billows chain, the bowl in front of me, the mortar and pestle, the bag of herbs, the book, I was just like, oh my god, what is happening? Like, it was just so much. And I was like, this sucks. I hate this. I hate everything about this. And then I did it a few times and I was like, this is kind of fun. I actually enjoyed it. And when you do it, you made like a whole cauldron, so you would get like 3 potions every time you did that little game. And I was like, shoot, I kind of like this. I loved that if you passed time while reading a book, you could level a skill up if you had any skill books that you hadn't already learned from. That was a cool thing too. Like there was a lot of cool stuff. I think it's kind of silly that you can't assassinate someone until stealth level 5. Below stealth level 5, all you can do is just and try to smother them like you're Joe Biden with a pillow, and you're just like really awkward with it. Like, it's just stab him, Henry. Come on, just take the knife and hit him with the pointy end. It's not that difficult. But whatever. So there was like one fight early in the game where I was 1v2 bandits, and it was to save that one lord. And I managed to smother one of them, and I fought the other one for so long, the smothered one woke up and then joined in and killed me. I was like, oh wow, that doesn't last long. First step 1 alchemy, second step transmutation circles. Yeah, equivalent exchange. But yeah, so the gameplay, the sharpening stone was a mini game too. Like, there was a lot of stuff there that was very challenging and had a lot of depth to it, but I think in a good way. Once I got a handle on it, it was pretty cool. But at the same time, there was some things I didn't want to deal with. I knew I could compare the stats on my horse with stats on other horses and possibly get a faster horse. I didn't want to do that. There was no comparison screen. Like, if I wanted to compare a weapon that I had with weapons that were in the shop, I needed to look at the weapon I had, write down its stats, close that window, open the shop window, look at weapon, look at its stats, look at my post-it note, look at the next one, compare, look at the next one, compare. There was no just compare my horse to that horse. Compare this sword in the shop to my sword. Compare this armor on this dead body to the armor I'm currently wearing. There was no comparison button. Now that I think about it, that would be nice to have too. So hoping for that for the next one. It wasn't the end of the world, but it'd be something I would wish for sure. Anything else? Overall, the game was really good. I'll probably wrap up KCD 1 as far as on stream after this. As a player, this was a lot of fun. If I had, the same number of viewers I have when I play Guild Wars 2, when I played this, I would happily just start cranking through the DLCs and doing all the side quests. However, the truth of the matter is that my live viewership when I play this game is much lower than my average. So not going to stretch it out and do the other stuff at this time just because of that. Unfortunately, that's just how it is. Might play more of it off stream, or might even try the hardcore mode off stream and just bang my head against that for a while and see what it's like. But yeah, please comment on the skill system and the UI and the mom variety. Okay, so the skill system, now obviously all of this discussion is based on not hardcore mode, because hardcore mode, you lose most of your UI. So the skill system, I liked it. I think it was good. it was, I really looked forward to getting Vitality to level 12 to unlock Revenant to get health regen, or Stealth to level 5 to get Assassination, things like that. Hey, is it your bedtime? All right, give me just a moment. I'm gonna tell the boy goodnight. I'll be right back. Okay. All right. So, what was it? The skill system, I think, was good. You level up skills in many different ways. It was very satisfying when you would spar with someone, and you might level up strength, agility, unarmed, and warfare. All of them. Just a little bit on all of them. That was good. That felt good seeing all those bars fill up in small ways. The UI, I think, was good. The little, when you mouse over someone and you can hit them from 5 different directions and you have the little shield in the middle, it took some getting used to, but once I was used to it, it was fine. I felt like I had access to all the needed information. I could see their health. Good night. I could see my stamina. I could see my health. I could see when they were about to swing at me. I could see which way I needed to strike. The only times I couldn't see information I needed was when I was struggling to get the camera locked to let go of something because I couldn't see the guy to my right. Stuff like that. UI, there was also the compass, it shows quests, it shows nearby things like the blacksmith, stuff like that on the compass, stuff like that. Mob variety. So, I mean, you're fighting in, what was it? You're fighting in Europe, right? So there's people. There was tons of people. There was dogs, not wolves. You were just sometimes enemy trained dogs. Deer, boar, rabbits. I can't even think of anything else. But there was a lot of different types of people as far as their skills and stuff like that. I remember the last guy that I fought in the tournament in round 3. His AI was way tougher than the ones before it. Anytime I clinched, he would knock me away 4 times out of 5. He was really good at just get away from me. None of the people up until that point in the tournament was able to do that. So they made him way better at that. He was really good at blocking and parrying and breaking the clinching and getting the free hits and stuff like that. So, oh yeah, there was chickens too. That's true. So I think that they did a decent job at they're here's a human that's normal, here's a human that's weak, here's a human that's really powerful in combat. I remember there was that one fiasco where I ended up fighting a boss and my guy was in his underwear because he got stuck in a cutscene, and the boss wasn't in armor, so he died in 2 hits. But he killed me in 2 hits because he was terrifying with a 2-handed greatsword or longsword or whatever. So I died to him once and then had to reload and do it again because it's we caught him unsuspecting, but he hit really freaking hard because he was good with the sword. So yeah, I think overall they did a great job with the game, and I had a lot of fun. Probably going to do a positive review video on this one and encourage people to give it a try. That said, one thing I'd like to do before we wrap up this playlist, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. At the time of recording this, the sequel is coming out in a couple of weeks. Now that I know more about Henry's story, let's see this trailer again and see what's going on here. So there's Henry.
Is that what you really want, son? No matter how many people you kill, you can't change what's happened.
Blacksmith Dad.
Ordentes fortuna juvat!
What does that actually mean?
Fortune favors the brave.
All we have to do is deliver a letter to Lord Otto von Bergov and ride back again. So I wouldn't expect much excitement there.
Hans, look at me!
Henry! For the love of God! My boy, war is a nasty business.
Crossbows.
It is better to have your head on your neck and your foe on his knees than the other way around.
These days we have all sorts of vagabonds, drifters, outlaws, and bandits roaming the country. I urge you all.
Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Hold on, hold on. I'm pretty sure that's the guy who killed Blacksmith Dad.
I urge you all to be vigilant. You know who I am.
You can't kill me. You're...
That... Okay, there's the guy that had our sword. So this is probably a nightmare.
You're the same as me. You play the game.
Wait. This looks like Henry is torturing somebody.
You play the game. But you don't understand the rules. And in the end, you'll lose.
I'm not like you.
Sigismund is mustering his allies and their armed forces to Kuttenberg.
He'll have torched
Cannon.
all our fortresses and carried off everything that we possess.
So we know at this point in the story, in this world, like gunpowder or black powder is a thing, because that one inventor asked if they could use some, and they said we don't have any of that here. So they knew what it was, it just wasn't in KCD1.
Are we seriously gonna wait? Cower in a corner? Or are we gonna drive them out in shame?
I remember everyone I killed. Are you sure you didn't kill someone's father or mother? War is a nasty business.
Yo, that's dark. And then right here on the splash art, we got Henry losing it. We got his lord friend over here, and a lady with a crossbow in the back. Oh man, that looks good. That looks good. That looks good. Yeah, that trailer hits a lot different after finishing the MSQ. That trailer hits a lot different. So yeah, dude, crossbows. I saw two-handed weaponry, but they already had to. And hold on, what is this for?
I have concluded
What's
a
in this
very
one?
fragile truce with Sigismund, and if anyone should disrupt my plans with headstrong acts of violence, there will be consequences.
I
Ooh,
intend
hanging
to
tree.
wage war, not parley.
Everything all right?
Eh? We need more people. The best thing would be to recruit from your old comrades.
Well, if they're not already swinging on the gallows somewhere.
Will you help us, Henry?
Okay, that was so brilliant. Chat, when he bashed the dude in the head with the hilt of the sword, he did it to the beat of the percussion in the song. There it is. You get crossbows.
I like that boy already.
Crossbow that takes 10 seconds to reload, you mean? That's fine. If it's like that, you know, you could open the combat with firing the shot. So, it depends on how they do it. Because the way they have it in the game right now, if you open with a bow shot, then you have to... You know, it was like 5 seconds to put the bow away and get your sword out. Now, whether you'd want to do this or not, it did not allow you to like fire arrow, drop the bow, and just get your sword out and then retrieve the bow later. You know, some games let you do that. I don't know that I'd want that or not. Maybe have the choice of it. But like, if you could just open with a crossbow shot, quickly swap to your melee weapon, and then go from there, and then just reload it after the fight, that might be cool. If you look at the reveal trailer, it has other new things in it. Looks like it's not on here at the very least. Just looking at the other pictures here. Ooh, lovebirds. Looking at it. Oh wait, is this it? Oh, hold on a sec. There's 2 more trailers here. What's this? Saints and Sinners announcement trailer. Okay, this is an announcement trailer. This might be the one you're talking about. Hello.
I always dreamt of leaving this place. Becoming more than a peasant.
You know the trouble with an adventurous life? It can end before it gets started.
Yeah, that was at the beginning of the first game. His dad, he was like, yo, why don't you teach me the sword? And Blacksmith Dad said, you know, the trouble with an adventurous life is that it can end before you get started. I could teach you how to use a sword. You can leave town and immediately get shot with a crossbow.
Congratulations, Sir Knight. You finally become a man.
Wake up! Pull yourself together, Henry.
Oh, he found the sword, did he? Oh, that's a long axe. Long handle on that axe.
Will hand anything on a platter to men like you and me.
You still have a long way to go till your work is done.
Dog! We get to keep the dog! And a gun.
O merciful God, be kind and protect us, so we don't blow our arses off. Amen.
Oh, I want to play it more than ever. All right. Well, that's it. That's our refresher on KCD2, which I'm now looking forward to even more. Like, what started all this is I looked at the KCD2 coming out. I was like, that looks pretty cool. But I want to play KCD1 beforehand. And so we jumped into that and played it. And now I'm even more excited for KCD2 because that was great. So, yeah. That concludes our playthrough on stream of KCD1. I might dabble in it some more off stream, but for now we're going to be going on to the next thing, and I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did.